Hello. What's up? I'm Cortez Ransom, the host of TheCnote, where we keep it 100 and the real recognize real. And we also see you fake asses out there too, coming to you tonight with season 3, episode 2, with my very special guest is SIRGINHO Williams. He's coming back again to talk about his second book. He did last year for his first book. So I don't know. Are you here?
I'm here.
Okay, well, we're just going to roll with it and see what happens when I save this later. Hopefully, you will pop up on the screen when I save this later, but I cannot see you right now for whatever reason. I don't see you at all. Well, we're just going to roll with it, okay?
Okay.
This is your second time here. I don't. I might have hit some type of setting or something that I'm not aware of. I don't know what the hell happened. But anyway,
You'll figure it out.
what you say?
You'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, because they've been switching up, the settings on Instagram and everything. So, yeah, but this is your second time here, and to discuss your second book. You were here last year discussing your first book, A Generation of Trauma, which was based on things that you experienced in your life, like part of your life story, things that you went through in your childhood, so forth. So you have a new book now called Bad CUTZ, which we will get into a little bit later. But first, I want to give people a little bit more background on you first, because as it says on the advertisement, you are also an interior designer as well as a flight attendant, right?
Correct.
So I don't remember everything that I asked you last year as far as your writing is concerned, and when you got into becoming an author. I will get to that in a minute. But the interior design thing, right?
Yes.
When exactly did you start that?
Interior design. I started in high school.
Mhm.
Before leaving high school, I took a course, um, just a 2-year course when I was in high school, for interior design. But it's something that's always been like a passion of mine because
Yeah, I was going
it kind of runs.
to ask you that.
It
Yeah.
runs in the family. My mom, my grandma,
Mhm.
my aunt. So it's like I'm the first generation of all women being a male.
Thank you.
So I guess it
Mhm.
just trickled into me and, that kind of special talent that I have.
Right. Okay. So were there any particular type of things that were like your specialty or your favorite type of things to design, like a house or um, like a event hall or whatever?
I,
Different types of.
I like both. I like both worlds because it's like you can, even when I worked with couples, like,
Mhm.
about to get married, you kind of have a feel of what they want and what colors they like. And, you can grasp from that and build up on
Yeah.
what your design will be. You suggest a few things to them and you kind of know where it is that they're going or what,
Mhm.
direction they're going in their design. So it kind of makes it easy because I know I've always had that passion of always knowing how to, work with people and
Right.
how to do certain things like that.
Yeah, that is very important in a field like that, that you are able to relate to people, and get along with people. You can't be like I don't know, a stuffed shirt or rude or whatever, because there are people that do work with the public that don't know how to talk to the public. So it's very important that you are able to relate to the public in that way. So what were some of your first design jobs? And do you also, it's a two question, what were some of your first design jobs, and do you have any interior design jobs currently going on at the moment for people?
Well, for my first jobs were just working with friends from my mom and people from the church. Like,
Hmm.
they would be like, "Oh, Gino, I have a dilemma. I don't know how to put the colors together." Or, some people have like a eclectic design. Like
Yeah.
they have different things. Like African art, they may have like modern mixed with contemporary and classical. Or right now,
Mm.
Deco. Art Deco is mostly like the glitzy and glamorous stuff, like the mirrored furniture or chandeliers, stuff
Hmm.
like that. But friends, friends of my mom's or people from her church. That's how I started first, and then it
Right.
gradually grew. From that, they would, refer me to their friends, and then their friends referred me, and then it's just like a trickle in effect. But this was Virginia,
Gotcha.
and this was back in the early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and
Yeah, for those who don't know, Gino is originally from, I call him Gino for short. Sir Gino is originally from Jamaica. And how long have you been in the States again?
I've been here
I
32
mean, you
years.
moved there. Yeah, you moved there as a child.
Yes,
I remember that. Yeah. Okay. So I do remember that you were in Virginia first for a while before you came here. You were in New York also. I know
yes.
that. Yeah. Okay. And do you have any current interior design jobs going on now
Not
that you're
right,
doing for?
not right now
Mhm.
because I'm traveling a lot, and
Okay.
I'm a
Oh
flight
yeah,
attendant.
that
So
that was the next thing. Yeah,
I'm
because you got into flight, becoming a flight attendant. How long ago did that start? That was like what,
It
4 years
started
ago? Probably.
4 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
it started 4 years ago. I started with a company called SkyWest. They are a regional airline, and regional airlines are basically airlines that go to small airports. I
So
work
what?
with
So what put flight attendant on your radar? What made you want to do that?
the pandemic came, and it was like, I lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of people that I knew,
Okay.
and I think you know about this too. We lost a lot of friends, so it's like you put things into perspective. What is it that you want to do with your life? Where is your
Yeah.
passion? I think that's something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to travel, go to different
Mhm.
places and meet different people. But the customer service aspect of it too is kind of why I, chose this career because I like interacting with people. You know,
Right.
um,
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm not going to stay too long on that. So we're going to get to the topic of the hour. Like I said, your first book was called A Generation of Trauma, which was based on things that you went through in your personal life. Your new book is called Bad Cuts. And I'm going to ask you in a minute what made you come up with that title for the book, because well, I see the barber clippers on the cover of the book, and then I see like the blade that you shave with. Now, of course, if I didn't know what the book was about, I might think that that book is about some type of crazy barber that's going around slashing people or something, you know, like some type of serial killer story or something. But it's actually about a barber um, who's on what people call the DL,
right.
right? And he does not want people to know about his life in that way.
Well,
Which, well, um, well, first, what made you come up with that title for the
the
book?
title came
And
from like,
also,
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
go ahead.
No, you
No,
finish.
so what made you come with that title for the book?
The,
And also, is this story based on someone you knew? Is it based on a true story, or is this just from your imagination?
so the title of Bad Cuts comes from basically, I know for me, and I know for other people too, every time
Mhm.
you go to the barber, and for years and years, they would push your hairline back. So I would always make fun of the barber. Even my barber right now, I always make fun of him and say, "You are such a bad cutter," and that's where
Yeah.
bad cut comes from because
Oh,
you're pushing
okay,
me
okay, okay.
hairline back, and
Yeah.
I already have a big forehead, so it's like, why you my hairline back? So that's
Yeah,
where bad cut comes from because I made fun of my barber, and that's kind of how it came up.
I've dealt with that before too. I've had barbers in the past that try to push my hairline back, and I'm like, they say they must be doing it because they're jealous because I don't have a receding hairline. I got my granddaddy's hairline. My granddaddy, he had a head full of hair when he died, and several years ago, when he was like in his 90s, still had a head full of hair. So I don't know why they push people's hairlines back like that. You know what I'm saying? So with the whole, yeah, that was the other part. The question I asked you, was this based on a true story?
Some of it is based on a true story. I did pull
Mhm.
from something that happened, months and months ago, but most of it is just something made up. You know, it, it, it's yeah, and it's something that most people are going through as we speak right now. You know,
When you say most people are going through, what specifically are you talking about?
most of you know, like 20% of barbers are on the DL, and
20%.
it's this the statistics say
So,
that, but you know,
oh, okay. I was going to ask you where you get those numbers from. Okay.
statistics say that if you Google it. But
hmm
most of these barbers are on the DL. Most of them are closeted that don't know basically what they want. They don't know if they want to stay in this lifestyle or want to stay in, you know, they want
So
to be a
interesting. So are some of them on the DL and others are just discrete, or are they all on the DL? The ones that are
I
bisexual
mean, I don't know.
or
I
whatever.
think
Because I mean, sometimes people do conflate the two, or of being DL and being discreet. Because I know for myself as a single loving black man, I'm not DL, but I'm not necessarily running down the street with a rainbow flag either. That's not my thing. I'm not ashamed of who I am, but at the same time, I don't feel a need. Like people always ask, when did you come out? I'm like, come out of
right,
what? You know, I never felt
right,
a need to come out of a closet or whatever. I'm just me.
right,
And, you know, my sexual orientation is just one aspect of who I am. So I'm a discreet person. I don't go around announcing everything to everybody. But like I said, I don't lie or hide it either. So some people just conflate the two sometimes of being discreet and being DL. But you're saying that 20% of barbers, the statistics show that 20% of barbers are on the
yeah,
DL.
yes.
Okay. So that's when you heard that. Well, did you hear the statistics first before you
I think I
wrote the
did a
book,
lot of research because
or?
research for me was
Mhm,
very important before
mhm,
putting this book out. You know,
mhm.
like, you know, you have people that are discreet, but that number is a totally different subject from
Okay.
just saying, hey, there's 20% of barbers that are on the DL, and
Right.
you couldn't even tell. You wouldn't even be able to tell because these are, you know, straight heterosexual acting men.
hmm
You know,
hmm hmm
and they played off that way every day. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, y'all. I'm listening to you.
So it's like, for me, it was like doing research was very important, you know, and a situation that I pulled from situations that happened over the years, as well as made up this book as what it is right now. You know, the two gentlemen that met each other, you know, was something that I made up because, you know, I've always seen myself in a situation like that at one
hmm
point.
Yeah.
So I drove from that situation and I put whatever it is that Bad Cuts is.
So who are these two characters that meet in your book, and
Well,
what about what about their story is going to draw the audience in?
you know, I think for a lot of us, you know, we party a lot.
hmm
You're people who go out to drinks and partying a lot, but going out to partying, you never think you'll meet that one person that's going to evidently change your life. And
hmm
with this book, you know, Nigel meets this particular barber through a friend, and they fall in love. But it was a situation in where the Nigel is out, but he isn't like a flamboyantly, you know,
hmm
person that
I got you.
shows who he is. He's, you know, you could never tell, but he meets this barber, and they start to form a relationship. They move in together, and it's just the obstacles they face with this, you know, situation of them being together. And you know, it was very discreet at one point, and it was like after a while it was like, you know, this particular DL barber came out of the closet. He was like, he's not going to deal with this anymore. He they their relationship, like, you know, went through the test of times, whereas, you know, they try their best to keep it together. And at the end of the book, you'll see the twists and turns of what happened to them. But,
Yeah, then we don't want to give that away. They got to go buy the book
right.
to find about those twists and turns. So you said that the guy that met the barber's name is Nigel. So what's the barber's name?
I think the barber's name is Barry. Yes.
Barry. Okay. Okay. So is Barry married? or does he have a girlfriend or children, or is he just on the DL, but he's
Barry,
totally single?
yeah, but the thing with Barry is that Barry doesn't know what Barry wants. You know, Barry is
Hmm.
bisexual, if you want to call it that,
Hmm.
and Barry
But
is
that's a real
yeah,
thing. People don't. Some people don't
yeah,
believe in
oh
bisexuality, but
yeah,
bisexuality is real. It's real. Yeah.
very bisexual. Yeah, call it whatever you want to
Hmm.
call it. And he, you know, he meets Nigel just out of like curiosity, and
Hmm.
this curiosity in him kind of fills up, and then he starts to really have feelings for this guy Nigel. You know, they kind of like started going out, started eating out a lot, and you know, Nigel was coming to be accustomed to this new lifestyle that he's never been before. You know,
Right.
he's not used to like, taking him out like for dinners or different restaurants in which I mean, you know, it's a lifestyle that really kind of like drew his curiosity too, because he's like, wow, I've
Hmm.
never been this dine, wined and dined before, but it's just a different type of world that he got into knowing Barry.
Okay. So you said they just met by chance in a club, right? They
Yeah,
met in a club.
yeah, they met
Okay.
through another friend, through another friend, yeah.
You said through another friend.
Yes, because remember in the start of the book, Nigel was a club promoter. He had
Mm-hmm.
a productions company that really made parties throughout the city.
Right.
And the city is actually, no, I did put the city as Baltimore. Yeah, I did. But he,
Okay. You said it here, Baltimore. Okay.
right, he had a production company, and you know, Kenton, his one of his workers, actually worked with him. You know, and
Hmm.
you know Kenton and him had a really good relationship, but Kenton introduced him to Barry, and that's how they kind of hit it off. Initially, like Kenton didn't know that the two had formed a relationship, but initially, Kenton gave Barry's number to Nigel because Nigel was just looking for another barber. That's it. You know,
That's it.
fell into his. It just fell into his lap. You know, he
Right.
started going to the shop and
Well,
started.
that's how life works. That's how life happens.
He started
Sometimes it's by chance. Say it
by
again.
chance. By chance, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was wondering because I write as well, screenplays and stuff like that. So I know that sometimes how I come up with characters' names, sometimes I might use some of the name of the people that I know. Not that the character is based on them, but just because it might be somebody, a lot of times I might use the name of somebody that I love and respect, but the character is not necessarily based on those people. So how do you come up with the names for your characters? Are they people that you know with those names, or
No, they're
you
not
just,
people I know. I just kind of came up with the names by just like, you know, you work a lot on the airline, and it's like,
mhm,
oh, there's certain names that I liked, and you know, I went
yeah,
through the list of names that I wrote down like 10 different names of people that, you know,
okay,
not people, but you know, you worked with certain people, and you've been on a plane with different passengers that you meet, and you're like, okay, well, this is a good name, that's a good name. It was just something out of the whim.
mhm,
Yeah.
okay. So what do you want people to take away from this book, or the message that you're trying to convey?
The message I'm trying to convey is that, you know, as you know, gender loving people, I know sometimes it's really hard to be in the closet, but if this book helps somebody to kind of come out, not really come
Hmm.
out, but you know, if you are honest to yourself and honest to people who ask you questions, you should be able to answer it and say, yes, I'm this, or yes, I'm that, but not feel puzzled in or scared about your identity. And this book is just it's just a
Well,
coming.
some people feel scared to quote unquote come out. Well, some, like I said, some people just don't want to do it because they don't feel like it's necessary because they're just who they are. Not necessarily they're hiding, but again, that's just being discreet. But then some people also don't want to come out because they know they're going to deal with ridicule and being attacked. And sometimes they're not only attacked by quote unquote some heterosexuals, sometimes they're attacked by other people who are single and loving with it, you know? And like when people are not ready to come out, I see how some people in the community respond to them with the name calling and stuff like that. Like they'll call them, like they're like, "Oh, come on, girl," and all this thing that they'll call a man girl and stuff like that, and think that and everybody's not cool with that. I'm not knocking people who talk like that, but everybody's not cool with that. Not every man wants to be called girl. I know I'm not into that. You know, not every singular loving person, not every singular loving man is into being called girl and bitch and all that kind of stuff. I don't knock those who talk like that, but not all of us like that type of shit. And but for guys who may not feel comfortable coming out, that's the way they're talked to. And when they're talked to like that, that's not going to make them feel any more comfortable to want to come out. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, times times have changed a little bit. We
Mhm.
have to acknowledge that times have changed a lot. I've seen a lot of people come out of the closet and have been, you know, they have been reciprocated very well. You know, people have been like, it's been an easy transition for them, but there are some people that have it really horrible. But I would just say, like, if this is something that's bothering you and it's something that you feel like you have to come out of the closet, well, all by means do it. If you think it's going to set you free or,
Right.
you know, be better on your
No,
conscience, great. If it's something that you think it's going to be a bad thing for you and you are at harm's way, I would not do that. I would just
right.
keep life as it
No,
is.
I know that times have changed as far as that's concerned, and then there's some stuff that's still the same. No, what I'm saying is that I have witnessed even recently, where some people may think that somebody might be homosexual or whatever. And because the person is not ready to come out and say that they are, people that want them to be out like them will start attacking them and calling them names and calling them, you know, get over it, girl, and all this kind of bullshit they might call them. And I'm just saying that when they speak to a guy like that who may not be ready to come out, that's not going to encourage them by calling them those names
It's
like that, you know.
No, it's not.
So that's all I'm saying. Like I said, I don't knock anybody who chooses to talk like that, but there's this, misperception that all single loving men talk like that and like that kind of talk, but that's not how it is.
Uh-huh.
So, when did you start writing this book?
I think it was last year, December. December is when I
Mhm.
started it. And I came. It's a very short book because it's not like a typical book that has 200 or 300 pages.
Mhm.
It's a very short story. But I started it in December of last year, and I gradually, like, took stuff out of it, added stuff to it.
Yeah, I know
And I
how
think
that is. Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're writing a book and you have an idea or something comes to your mind, you have to quickly write it down because if you don't, you're gonna forget it.
It's the
You know.
same way. It's the same way with anything that you write, whether it be a song or whether it be a screenplay. You have to write it down, especially like with a song, because I've gotten ideas like in the middle of the night, that woke me up for like a song, and I'm like, I'll write it down later. But then later I forget it. I've forgotten it. So I should have put it down when I was thinking about it when it came to me. So and as far as like you said, you put some stuff in and you took some stuff out and changed it around. It's the same thing. Even when you write a screenplay. Because like when I wrote my film that's been in a few film festivals and all of that, I changed that script up some, not the whole thing, but tweaked it here and there. And there were a couple of characters that was in the original version of my screenplay that did not make it to the end, to the last version of my screenplay. So I understand that, which also brings me to, my next question, because I have this question and one more question. Um, do you think about, or have you thought about, at some point, turning this book, or maybe another one of your books, I don't know how many books you may write in the future, any of your books, into a screenplay, a short film? Like you said, this book is a short book, so maybe doing a short film of it or
I
whatever.
mean, it's a great idea. Um,
Hmm.
I would probably do my autobiography first before
Right.
Bad Cuts.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something for the
Of
future
course.
would be nice. It would really be nice.
Hmm.
Or if you have a director who's looking for a great story or something, it makes for a great story. I would change a few things about it, but yeah.
So you would change some things for it to be on the screen,
like like Generation
like.
Trauma, I would change the name. It would have to be a different name, you know.
Hmm.
Just like some books that become a movie. Like I'm trying to figure out what movie that came out recently that was changed into the Book of Enoch.
Okay.
It became a horror movie that's in the theaters right now about these Nephilims that came down and had relations with women on the earth,
Hmm.
or demons that were cast out of heaven. Just I would just change the name of the movie and not the
Okay.
original book.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was my last question? It just slipped my mind just like that. I got a lot on my mind. But yeah, so where can your book be found? Where can it be purchased?
You could get it on Amazon Kindle right now. I haven't put the paperback or the hard copy up yet because I'm going
Okay.
to do a photo shoot first before I can release the actual book. But the Kindle is up. They can buy the Kindle. I think it's $11.99.
11.99. That's a
Mm-hmm.
good deal for a book. Definitely. So do you have an estimation of when the hard copy and the paperback will be
I'm gonna
available?
do it late August. I'm gonna do it late August.
Late August? Okay. 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 Well, um, I I read through your notes and stuff like that. I didn't get the chance to read the whole book, but I read some of it, and it is a good book. And I recommend that people go check it out. Um, Go get it on Kindle and read it. Take it in, and do you welcome like feedback from people or
Yes, I
your readers?
welcome feedback because I think writing a book is very difficult. The first
Mm-hmm.
one was very difficult, and I gave so too much information of myself that it was just I wanted people to know more about me and where I came from and who makes me who I am now, and the struggles and I went through, and just the triumphant victories. But it's something that's very hard to do. But I welcome like constructive criticism as well as good
Mm-hmm.
feedback because it makes it better for when you do something like this again to see where you can make changes or you know um,
Right.
improving.
So do you have because I know I got a plethora of ideas going on for different screenplays at the same time. So do you have any ideas for what your next book might be about?
The
Have it-
next book is going to probably be about, and this was supposed to be my second book, but the next book is probably going to be about my aunt. You know, I have an aunt in Jamaica, and you work
Mhm.
so hard for everything that you have on this earth while you're alive,
Yeah.
and you try your best to provide for your family, and long story short, she passed away, and her property was not taken care of really well, and family members not really the best when it comes on
Mhm.
care of your property and stuff. So it's a great story in that my mom was able to rescue the house and get it repaired and fixed up and everything and get tenants back into it. This is a
Yeah.
really, it basically is the best house in the whole village that we used to live in,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
everybody looked up to this house because it was really
Yeah.
greatly built.
Where everybody likes to gather and hang
Yeah,
out.
it
Yeah.
was a great big house that everybody talked about, and it was the
Hmm.
grandest or nicest house that was built by my father. My father was an architect at the time, and he built the house. So I think that's going to be the next book.
Oh, cool. We'll be on the lookout for that. We'll be on the lookout for that. Now, hopefully, like I said, I don't know why the hell I can't see you. So hopefully, when I get off here and try to save this, everything will work out and you will be on there. But if you're not on the video on when I play back, we can do this again when you're available again soon. Definitely, if we can do it over if have to.
It should be.
So, I mean, because I don't understand why I can't see you. Because I did in an episode last week and I could see her just fine. So I don't know what the hell is going on right now. So, like I said, I know they've changed a lot of things on Instagram lately, so I may have hit a button or something that I didn't know I hit. But anyway, it's been a great interview, and
Thank you.
people should go out there and check your book out on Kindle. And by late August, you say you should have the paperback out uh, in the hard. You have just paperback, or
The
would it be the hardback too?
hard copy should be out too.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Hardcover.
Well, thank you. So, do you want to say anything before you leave?
No, well, I just want to say, go out there and get the book, guys, and check it out. See if it's something that you would like to read. I thought it was a great book, and it's like, as even same gender, loving men or women, we always want to find that one person. I think it makes for a great love story. If you like love stories and you want to read about it, it makes for
Yeah.
a great.
Well, some of us want to find that one person.
Yes, and it gives.
I want that. I want that one person, but not everybody wants that. Some people just want to hoe around. So let's keep it
But
real, okay? Some people just want to hoe around. So,
it
yeah,
makes it great because it's just like it's basically just saying there is hope out there, and you will find that person one day if that's what you're
yeah.
looking.
I still believe. I still believe in love. I believe in it. Yeah, it's out there.
The book to get.
It's out there. What you say?
If you still believe in love, this is the book to get.
Okay, that's what's up. So it has a happy ending.
Yes.
Okay, well, we ain't gonna say what that is. All
No.
right, now. You got, like I said, go check it out. He says there's twists and turns in that book, so go check it out. It'll be some good reading. All right, thank you,
Thank
Gino.
you. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. Bye, y'all. Love y'all. Bye. Mhm. Trying to get this thing to go off.